Cole talked about actually earlier 6 scoreless quarters, and that second half happened, but still, I mean, really great performance you've seen for this defense these first 6 quarters, or those 6 quarters. What did you see that you liked, and some things you want to build on going into 2?
Yeah, I mean, I continue to talk about just, again, I think we got a great group of players and playing well together. Obviously, we're able to kind of showcase that for that period of time. I think the biggest thing that stands out, over the game and in the first half the other night is just not giving up very many explosive plays. And if we can continue to do that, we'll continue to play well. Obviously we need to do, and I've got to do a better job in the second half, getting those guys come out in the second half ready to play and really finish the game the way that we wanted to. We had an opportunity for some takeaways in the second half, and weren't able to do that. And again, trying to limit explosives in the second half, and I think we would have felt a lot better coming out of the game had we done that.
Last year the identity of the defense was that they cause a turnover at least once a game, and so far that's the case this year. How important is that to win that turnover battle against teams when maybe the offense is slower or they're scoring at will?
Yeah, well, I think, takeaways are a huge part of who we are. It's a big part of our identity as a defense and really within our program. Our guys have a lot of fun with it. And so anyway, it generates a lot of excitement for sure. And, we try to talk about all the time the takeaways and the opportunities for what we talk about 14-point swings, the 7 that the offense had the opportunity to get and the 7 that we're hopefully handing our offense at the same time. For the last 2 years, I think we've had 9 defensive touchdowns, and those were obviously 14-point swings that we had a chance to control. So it's a huge part of what we do, and we've got to continue to improve on those over the course of the first 3 games. There's at least 4 or 5 opportunities that we haven't been able to make, and that's what we've got to continue to improve on.
Of course, Middle Tennessee, an epic 4-down stand from the 1, and then another stop in the red zone. 2 more stops in the red zone. I think that was kind of the story of the game. You guys made the stops when you needed to defensively. Showing some grit inside the 20.
It's been fun. I think I can't remember exactly what the scenario was with EKU. Obviously, another scenario where they were inside the 5, first down. So 2 weeks in a row. If you go back even farther and you start thinking about the ODU game, and then you take it back to the Sam Houston game, balls on I think it was 1st and 4, on the last drive of the game. But, we've really been able to the last 5 or 6 games really put together, like you said, some really good defensive play inside of the low red zone. And I think the kids, have done a great job, like you said, showing grit. They understand what they've got to do. They have a lot of fun and excitement, but they do not want people to get down there and score. There's a lot of teams, again, the ball gets to the 1, the ball gets to the 2, and they've kind of let up. But I'll go back to a great play that happened again for us versus EKU 2 weeks ago. We had a ball that was able to kind of get past the line of scrimmage on a short yardage play, and Vontae, number 14, our free safety, Vontae, chases a guy down 40 yards, tackles him lays out, shoestring tackle at the 1.5. And a lot of guys wouldn't have gotten to that play. A lot of guys would have quit on the play. So it would have been a touchdown. But what our defense has really done a good job of is trying to finish and trying to make sure they maximize their effort, so that play winds up, that one effort play kind of gets everybody going in the right direction. And there's countless opportunities for those things, and countless times that we've been able to really make something special happen in the last 5 or 6 games with it.
Looking towards this Toledo game, and they had a big time win against Mississippi State this past week. What have you been able to see from them, and why they've been so successful so far this season?
Yeah, Coach Candle, the head coach, does a great job. I think this is his either his 9th or 10th year as a head coach, and obviously has an offensive background, so they've been able to keep a lot of continuity there. Robert Wiener's the offensive coordinator and coach. I've known him for, I think, 15, 16 years. He was a head coach at Tampa Plant, Florida. For about 15 years. When I was a defensive coordinator at UCF, I would see him all the time. He is a ball junkie, really, really smart guy, talented as they come, and he's been there for 5 years now. Interestingly enough, the quarterback that's there for them, Gleason, played for him at Tampa Plant and then wound up going to Georgia Tech and transferring, over. But they've got 2 really good quarterbacks. between Gleason and John Allen Richter. They've got 3 good backs, very different. And they package them very differently whenever for those guys that are in the game. Tight ends are like 6'7", 240, 250, 266. I mean, these are big humans that they use in the run game and the passing game. Offensive line, everybody's over 300 pounds. Everybody's in the 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". Coach Friend talked about having a Power 5 line of scrimmage. That's certainly what they've tried to create with the offensive line, and they've got receivers. I think again of their starting group, between number 1, number 2, and number 10, these are guys that are all big time receivers anywhere in the country. So really talented group. I think, Robert, again, the offense coordinator, does a great job of packaging plays, and they do a lot on offense, and he sequences plays really well in how he calls them and when he calls them. So be a big challenge for us. Again, they do a good job, and the 111 games last year, they're 3-0, and obviously played really well versus Mississippi State on Saturday.
How you guys holding up? Obviously, this is you're in the middle of a long string of games week to week. How are you health-wise?
Yeah, we've been good. Our guys, like I said, I think Coach does a great job with the organization of the practice for the week and how we try to get things set up. And, we really try to make Tuesdays and Wednesdays challenging on our guys and try to make sure that they're getting what they need to in those days. And then, we've got some time for them to kind of get off their feet and regroup and hopefully play fast on Saturday. And that's what we're trying to make sure we get done again.
Both of these offenses are high power. They can score a lot of points. This game could turn into a shootout, but defensively, how do you all prevent this game from becoming a shootout?
Well, I think it's like, what we've been talking about. At the end of the day, we play our best ball when we are able to blitz and pressure and create havoc on the quarterback and create problems for the quarterback. And when we're able to not give up explosives. A lot of times when you pressure the amount of times that we do in a game, you can naturally create explosives for yourself defensively and create havoc plays, but you may have to give something up at the same time. And we've tried to have a lot of balance with that this past year, and I think when we've played our best ball is when we've had the most balance.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you all.